Hey everyone, so I recently went on my first missions trip to Jamaica, myself and about 33 other people my team consisted of. We went from July 1st to July 11th, and we went with a goal of ministering the gospel, hosting vacation Bible studies, doing giveaways, meeting with some of the people, and just loving on the inner cities of Jamaica, mainly with a concentration on helping the kids. And ultimately we did that, but we did have a slight interruption, which was Hurricane Beryl. And even in experiencing that, the hurricane, it still allowed for God to move. And what happened was we had an itinerary for the 11 days that we were there. We had every day was planned. We had different activities that we were going out there to do. But after the first, which is when we flew out of LAX, pretty much our whole itinerary got thrown out. And we really just had to submit to what it is that God wanted us to do ultimately. And so when we got to the island, we were staying in Kingston. Our plan was to have dinner at the Usain Bolt's Tracks and Records, which we didn't do, to be able to have supplies to help other people in the community. Instead, we started to prepare for that because we knew that the hurricane was coming. And so July 2nd, they started boarding up everything and pretty much everything in the city. They started putting like these wooden boards. They boarded up our hotel room doors. They told us we couldn't leave, starting on the 3rd at 6 a.m. So we had to stay inside. So that day that while the hurricane was going on outside, or it was just starting to pick up, we started to pray. We spent about 4 to 5 hours just in deep prayer, praying in the spirit, praying regular. We had a conference room where we met, and we just spent all day praying. And we were not only praying for ourselves to be safe because we knew we were covered. God's never going to send you somewhere and allow something bad to happen to you. But we also prayed for the people who we came to meet, who we came to minister to, the people that were assigned to us and to this trip. And so that was where I really saw God's hand. A lot of the things that we had planned, they shifted because, with the road closures and certain things being kind of torn up, we weren't able to do some of the things that we planned to do. But it left room for God to say, you know what, I need you over here. You know what, this person needs you. I have an assignment for you in this place. Don't go over there, go over here. And so we really saw God move. Even in the middle of that, we were able to go out into the inner cities and help take water out of people's homes. And a couple of the team members were able to help. There was a lady whose roof had blown off, and they were able to help her put her roof back on. They nailed it in for her. We were able to take food. We were able to take school supplies. We were able to really just love on the people and to pray for them and just let them know that God hasn't forgot about them. And I think that was one of the biggest things that a lot of the people needed to know, because going through something like that, or maybe living in a state of poverty, it can feel like, okay, God, where are you? God, where are you? And sometimes there's people out there that they will only see God if we're the hands and feet of what God called us to do. And so when yes, there's going to be things that God is calling us to do that maybe we initially don't want to do. I know I've been there. But in doing that, we're able to help the people that God called us to help. The people that have been praying, God, send me a sign, send me a person, send me a word. That person might be you. That word might be whatever he told you to speak. And so I think that that's why obedience is just so, so important. Being willing to submit to whatever it is that God might have called us to do is extremely important. And so we did end up hosting some events aside from the Vacation Bible School. We ended up having a car show, which was a very powerful move, where we were able to connect the car community with the Word of God. So we had people bring their cars out, we fellowship, we ministered the gospel, and then there was also an altar call. There was a time where people were able to receive salvation and receive prayer. So we did a lot of those types of events where everywhere we go, we would make sure that we gave people the opportunity to receive salvation and to pray. But a part of me is still processing everything that God did while we were out there, but I just know that it was powerful. And one of the biggest things that I learned is having a willingness to, you know, whatever it is that God called me to do, you know, to just do it, and to just do it quickly, because a lot of times it's not just about me. It's about, that might be the answer to someone else's prayer, is in the obedience to whatever God is saying to get up and go do. And so I just wanted to leave that with you. I'm super grateful, you know, that I saw God's hand even in the midst of the hurricane, that, you know, he protected us. He protected a lot of the families in Jamaica, specifically. But also we got to see that, you know, it's okay to be willing to let go of what our expectations are, let go of what we think something should look like, and just say, okay, God, I'm with you. What are we doing? So hope that helps someone. I don't know who needed to hear that, but also Jamaica's a beautiful country. Definitely recommend. The food is great. The people are amazing. And one day I'm going to go back.